Dress code. Everyone in class can see Jennifer's shoulders. All classwork comes to a standstill as the boys are unable to get any work done. They imagine how these naked shoulders are just the tip of the naked iceberg, and how beneath all those clothes is Jennifer's body, naked. They will need a week to recover to full productivity following this incident, much to the frustration of the faculty. The boys watch the fabric, how it ebbs and flows over Jennifer's buttery skin with wide agape mouths and fluttery eyelids before an intervention finally takes place. The teacher sighs and shakes her head. It's the third time that Jennifer has received a clothing violation this semester. You know what that means, her teacher tells her, and Jennifer rolls her eyes and screeches back her chair from her desk. She stands and walks to the classroom door and turns into the hallway. She gets into the elevator at the end of the hall and goes to the 5th floor. On the 5th floor, the receptionist turns up her nose and points her to a door with a sign hanging from a shoestring on its front. The sign says body management in a crisp typeface, and scrawled underneath, for shoulders, go to second door left. Jennifer turns the stiff doorknob and presses her body onto the surface, which sticks before it opens. Inside, she sees a second set of doors and knocks on the left. It flings open enthusiastically straight away, which makes sense because the vice principal is waiting right behind the frosted glass pane, watching her. He gleefully accepts Jennifer into the office and advises her to sit. The vice principal rarely receives violations, as he has been demoted to shoulders this year after the whole finger length to knee skirt ratio fiasco. The vice principal takes a chart from the wall and he holds it up to Jennifer's shoulders. On the paper, there is a scale of varyingly exposed shoulders, numbered 1 through 10. I'm afraid, Jennifer, you're an 8. The scale doesn't lie. Whatever, Jennifer says. She rubs her neck and looses her shoulder muscles. Go ahead, she tells him. The vice principal tuts at Jennifer before getting an enormous pair of pliers from the drawer of his desk. He instructs her to pull down the wide neckline of her shirt until both of her shoulders are exposed. He takes the pliers and he pushes down on Jennifer's right shoulder. He cranks and he cranks and he huffs and he puffs. The flesh pulls with chewy give like bubble gum between gnashing teeth before finally, with a last creak and an airy thwop, her shoulder releases from her body. He takes a sticker and places it against the blade. He labels it Jennifer's right shoulder with neat looping script and places it in the drawer of a candy pink filing cabinet behind him. He attempts to shut it neatly, but what appears to be a rogue ear speckled in piercings gets caught before he can shove it back in. He repeats this process on Jennifer's left shoulder and then moves smoothly around his desk. He rummages in a drawer and emerges with a tub of red rubber body parts, arms, legs, ankles, collarbones. He holds them up to Jennifer, who rolls her eyes and points at a red pair of shoulders. He scoops them up and walks behind her, where he screws each shoulder into her body like light bulbs. The vice principal instructs Jennifer to cover back up her new shoulders. She does so, and he checks his handiwork by pulling gently on the fabric. It catches on the rubber, and the vice principal announces, satisfied, "Oh yes, that's not going anywhere." Jennifer looks at the filing cabinet. The vice principal tells her she can go back to class now. She doesn't move. He rolls his eyes at her. "Oh, don't worry. You'll get these back at the end of the year," the vice principal tells her, patting the pink cabinet of body parts, which makes a heavy drumming sound, just in time for swimsuit season. Jennifer thanks him and closes the door behind her. When she returns to the classroom, the boys look hopefully up from their work and then disappointedly back down. Google searches at school that afternoon consist of nothing but shoulders, female shoulders, and shoulders naked. The boys know better than to voice this aloud. They save their fantasies for the gym locker room, where on one side of the wall, boys dress and boys shower, and the girls inside boys' minds frolic in slow motion under fluorescent lights, their shoulders bare, their hair long and swinging, their bodies whole. On the other side, Jennifer and other girls will undress without thought or notice, without look or expectation, a dappled sea of red parts and rubber squeaks.